What is up, everyone? It's Andrew Trades here. This video is 3 things I would do to restart my trading journey from nothing to 10K a month. It's going to be a very basic video, but I'm just going to go over 3 points, talk in depth about them, and talk about my personal experience and what I would have changed. Number 1 is to get a freaking job. Have a job, whether it's your own business. You need some sort of income. You need some sort of way of making money. A lot of people, when they come into trading, they're just looking to fast track to 10K a month. They're looking to get their first payout. They're looking to just make money quick. In reality, money's not going to come quick with trading. It took me about over a year to make my first dollar with trading. I lost $4,000 on the way to making my first 10K month while trading, and it was difficult. It was not easy. It was hard losing that money, but I'm just picturing if I had $100 to my name, $1,000 to my name, I would have blown all that money really fast, and I would have literally been left in nothing. And the only thing I would have been able to do from there is either get a job or figure something else out, and that most likely would have discouraged me away from trading, and I would have never became who I was today. Luckily, I had started my own businesses before that. I've done some other things. I've done literally anything and everything you can think of in the online space, whether it's drop shipping, social media marketing, reselling, literally everything I've tried. And I made a decent bit of money from doing little things like that, but then eventually trading was my true passion. So for the first point, it is to find some way of making money, get some sort of stable income, whether it's a basic job, 9 to 5, whatever it may be. Just get a basic income going, especially if you're in high school. Start saving up your money for once you're 18, and then start going at trading. But then number 2, this goes perfect. If you're in high school right now, maybe if you're in college, wherever you are right now, backtest. When you come into trading, do not think that just hopping on the markets every morning and paper trading is going to be enough. And I found this out the hard way. I didn't start backtesting until about 6 months into my trading journey. You need to start backtesting as soon as you start trading. And this is one of the things that I wish I had done from day one when I started trading. As soon as you find out about trading, find how to backtest. Okay, it's going to be good for you to, yes, go into the market at 9:30 or whatever time you come into market and paper trade. That's amazing. But you need to be doing work outside of that. You need to be putting in the overtime hours, and the overtime hours is going to be implemented through backtesting. Now, a lot of people that I know that I've coached and that I've helped out, they talk about how they backtest on FX Replay. They do the replay method, or sorry, not FX Replay, TradingView. And that's not what you need to do. You need to go to FX Replay or even Tradeful now, but any sort of backtesting software that allows you to just backtest with your indicators, with the sessions, with everything that you trade with on a sufficient basis that kind of simulates your live trading in obviously backtested time. So backtesting is going to be one of the most important things that's going to make you profitable. I credit backtesting to making me profitable. I'm sure a lot of other profitable traders credit backtesting to making them profitable. And this is honestly one of the best things that you can be doing right now to change your entire trading journey. You need to start backtesting. Treat it as if you were trading the live markets every single day. If you're trying to pass eval accounts, start learning how to backtest. Start learning to see, okay, is my model actually profitable? Do I have the proper risk management in place? Do I have all the things to actually make money in the markets? And most likely, you're going to find out early on that, wow, I suck at trading. I have terrible risk management. My model sucks. A lot of these things suck. But I promise you, if you go about 2 months, 3 months, every single day, 6 hours a day, backtesting, multiple hours a day, and you do that on a consistent basis, you will eventually get to the point where you're making consistent gains, you're having good risk management, you're finding your model, and a lot of things are starting to come into play for you. And next thing you know, you're going to have a strategy, you're going to have risk management, and boom, that then comes the third step. The third step is stop treating evals as even a phase. The eval phase is not a phase in trading. I want you guys to realize this, okay? Yes, it might be a phase for some prop firms. There are prop firms where it's going to take you almost 5 days to pass an eval. But if you're with any prop firms like Apex or Alpha Capital's also got some firms or some accounts where if you can pass in 1 day, you better be passing in 1 day. Apex, this is why I love Apex so much, is because you could spend $16 to $30 to just test out an eval, see how it goes. And essentially, you're basically paying $16 to basically pass a trade or pass an account in 1 trade, and now you're funded the next day. This is what makes Apex so special, okay? You guys need to realize that these prop firms are here to screw you over. They're here to make money on you. They're not here to pay you out. They're not here to help you out. They're not here to be your buddy. No. They're a business and they're here to make money. How do you think they're making money? By you blowing evals over and over again and not even getting to the funded process. That's what a lot of you guys need to realize. These funded stages or these eval stages are supposed to just be fast tracked. You're supposed to get through them as fast as possible. You're supposed to get to your funding account, and boom, once you're on a funding account, then it's only up from there. Now again, you need to have step 2 in place. You need to be back testing, you need to have your model, and you need to have risk management. But once you have those things in place, all you have to do is come into an eval, basically find an A+ setup of your model. Absolutely, I'm talking full port that setup, and essentially you're going to pass in one trade. And once you've passed in one trade, guess what's next? Okay, you're on the funded stage, and this is where you actually apply what you've been doing in back testing. This was where you apply your risk management, where you apply your model, and where you look for kind of the long-term gains to get you that first payout. Now, this is why a lot of people are unprofitable, is because they don't even backtest. They spend a month or two on an eval. Boom, they've now passed an eval, and that's a month or two of time that's just disappeared from them. When if they had just passed an eval the first day, that month or two of them grinding that eval process, guess what would have happened? They'd be eligible for payout. They'd be willing to get their first couple of dollars from trading, and boom, now they've got the momentum to keep going and keep investing in themselves and keep growing that trading journey. This is why so many people are unprofitable, is because they spend way too much time on the evals. They don't backtest. They don't have steady income coming in, and they just kind of stress out over that. They glorify the trading payout. They glorify passing their first funding account, when in reality, passing a funding account should not be glorified at all. Passing a funding account should be easy every single day. You should be able to pass a funding account super easily. And what should be glorified is, yes, those big payouts. Yes, those 10-figure or those 5-figure payouts, right? That's what's glorified in trading. That's what everyone's looking up to. But when you add that extra step of, oh my God, I need to pass my first funded. Yay, I passed my first funded. Let's go. I got a certificate. Well, that doesn't mean shit. It's just a piece of paper, right? What actually means something is when money hits your bank and when you're actually getting that momentum to become a profitable trader. So if those are the 3 things I would highly recommend starting to implement into your trading. And if I had to gone back to the beginning of my trading journey, that's exactly what I would have done to become where I'm at today.